Families of Israeli captives being held in Gaza are marking 2 years of war by holding rallies and memorials in Tel Aviv. They're urging their government to accept the ceasefire deal with Hamas and help release their relatives. They've criticized the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war. He's facing pressure from some right-wing members of his cabinet, though, not to end the war on the Palestinians. Now, the fate of those captives has become one of the most divisive issues in Israel, sparking mass protests since the war began. And here's a closer look at where things stand. On October the 7th, Hamas and its allied fighters took captive some 251 Israelis and foreign nationals during their attack. Since then, 203 captives have been returned to Israel, some through negotiated exchanges, others in military rescue operations. An estimated 48 captives remain in Gaza now. Israeli officials believe only about 20 of them, though, are alive. Gideon Levy is a columnist for the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, and he joins us live from Tel Aviv. Gideon, thank you so much for joining us once again. What does it feel like in Israel this October the 7th?
Oh, there is quite a dark cloud over Israel. Not a very clear one, but something very heavy is in the air. The media keeps repeating to the 7th of October almost on a daily basis ever since the 7th of October 23. And obviously today, much more than any other day, but it didn't stop ever since then. A lot of sentiments are obviously dedicated to the hostages, to the killed soldiers. Just one item is missing in this picture, and this is the Israeli genocide in Gaza, which is hardly discussed, hardly present.
Why is that the case, in your view, in what is meant to be a democratic, open society?
Yes, democratic and open, but first they're traumatized after the 7th of October and also brainwashed in many ways, mainly because the feeling is of most Israelis, if not all of them, that after the 7th of October, Israel has the right to do whatever it wants. And not only this, there is no room for any kind of empathy or humanity toward the Palestinians in Gaza, because there are no innocent people in Gaza, as many of the Israelis believe.
I believe 73% of Israelis in a recent poll had that view. Now, if I was reading an interview that you did back in March, and I could ask you exactly the same questions, and I hope I don't get the same answers, such as, for instance, if we go down this peace route, will Netanyahu abide by its terms?
It's very hard to tell. My feeling is, and it's not based, but my intuition says, and it's not only mine, this man does not want the war to end now. By all means not. He will do anything possible to continue it, either because of his personal reasons or because of his belief that Gaza must be destroyed totally in order to so-called solve the problem of Gaza. It might be also a combination of both motivations, but in any case, he was forced now to go to the first stage of the deal of releasing the hostages. He had no other choice but to obviously listen to Donald Trump and obey. The question is what comes next, but it's not very hopeful, really not very hopeful.
Now, back in March, you were also asked about this proposal of an interim government, a government for Gaza as well, an international stabilization force. This has been proposed again now. What has changed?
First of all, it's good that anyone deals with it, because in March nobody dealt with it. But I'm afraid that the whole proposal is premature. It's really not well baked, as we say. It is full of holes and there's a lot of ambiguity. Who is going to run Gaza? Tony Blair? I mean, with all the respect, who is going to take care of 2.3 million people starving, homeless, to the destruction? Who is going to run their life? Who is going to govern Gaza? What countries will send their soldiers, and why would they do it? It is really still so vague that I can't take it seriously.
Gideon, back in March, you said because of the change of administration in the US that Washington gave Netanyahu the clear green light and let Israel go wild. The thing is, a lot has happened, a lot of death and destruction, thousands of people killed. When will Donald Trump actually rein Benjamin Netanyahu in, or will he?
First of all, he did so now. He forced him to go for a ceasefire. How decisive will he be? How devoted will he be? For how long? It is hard to tell. I'm not sure that Donald Trump by himself knows the answer. But right now, he did intervene. Netanyahu wouldn't stop the war now, by all means not. And it was enough of one phone call to put an end to it. So I thought all the time that it's all in the hands of Donald Trump. If he would like to see this war ending, it would have ended long time ago. And the question is obviously, why didn't he? Because nothing was achieved in the last months except of more killing, more starvation, more suffer, and more destruction.
Gideon Levy, thank you so much for your time. Gideon Levy, columnist for the Israeli newspaper Haaretz, joining us there from Tel Aviv.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.